Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. Today we're going to be looking at SPCE. We're going to be looking at its full chart analysis. So I'm going to be looking at the chart, the buy zones, the sell zones. We're going to be looking at the news of SPCE, the technical indicators, the financial metrics and trends, the economic data, and the upcoming flight and earnings. So let's go straight into the charts. It's back at 86 cents. That was our previous buy zone, as you can see in our latest and in my last video on charts. I did in the previous few videos, we did see that there was a buy zone around 83 cents. That took us all the way up to $1.40, which was our sell zone, and then it came back down to our buy zone of 85 cents, where it had a quick reaction that took it up all the way up to $1.15 the next day. So taking profits for a 35% move to the upside in a day is great. Again, I don't give financial advice. I'm just here to give you my thoughts and educate you on the charts. Now we're back at the buy zone. So this is a buy zone that I think is quite strong, around 85 cents. If we do breach this level of support, I do have my next buy zone set up at around 65 cents. We can also use the Fibonacci tool to see if there's any further areas. No, it does seem that the 786 is around this 85 cents level, which we're at now. So that is the buy zone at the moment. Worst case scenario, looks like we might even go down to 30 cents, but we don't need to worry about that yet. Right now, the chart is signifying a sort of a buy zone at the areas we are at currently, around 85, 86 cents. So a portion of my cash has been deployed at this area. My next area of buying will be 70 cents and 65 cents if we go down that low. Let's now look at some news on SPCE. We just saw Zach Zait, one of our great members, give us this news here, which is, I'll put it on the screen. SPCE has notified the New York Stock Exchange of its intent to regain compliance with the continued listing standards by seeking stockholder approval at its upcoming annual meeting of shareholders on June the 12th. So that's a big day, and we'll be looking forward to the news of that. We have also now got an AI model on the show, ChatGPT, that we can put our questions forward to. So that's exactly what I've done. What are the latest news updates on Virgin Galactic that investors should be aware of? That's my question. Excuse me. So, upcoming Galactic 07 mission. Virgin Galactic is set to launch its 7th commercial spaceflight, Galactic 07, on June the 8th. That is coming up very shortly, and we will be covering that live. This mission will carry a hybrid crew of private astronauts and a researcher from Axum Space. The spacecraft VSS Unity will be piloted by Nicola and Jamal, with the carrier aircraft VSM Eve piloted by Andy and CJ. So the flight rate increases. The company announced plans to increase the flight rate of its VMS Eve aircraft to 125 flights per year once Delta-class space planes commence commercial services in 2026. This increase is aimed at achieving profitability by flying 750 customers annually, with projected revenues of $450 million at a ticket price of $600,000, which is quite high, but that's what they want to do. That's what we're waiting for, is what everyone's waiting for, is the Delta fleet to bring profitability back. Remember, what I say and what other investors have said, such as Andy Shovel, is that it's got about just under 2 years of cash burn left, and if it loses the Boeing lawsuit, then it might be a little bit less than that. I do have another AI model here, which is called Alpha Spread, which gives us some other values, and we can have a look at that. The intrinsic value over here is about $2. Worst case is about 33 cents, and best case is about $3. So it's a big range between 33 cents and $3. So keep that in mind. The revenue is set to increase. The operating income is set to sort of decrease, because right now it's negative 479 million, which is not good. The assets are more than their liabilities. Their liabilities consist of $418 million of long-term debt, which they'll be paying high interest on. And the profitability score is very low at the moment, which is why they need the Delta fleet to come in to increase their profitability. And their solvency score is pretty good for now, and that's what they're working on. Their Wall Street averages the lowest forecast about 75 cents and the highest about $4.2. So there's quite a big range, and we're within that range right now, closer to the downside. Remember, this company can go bankrupt, but right now it's looking okay. Financial performance. In the first quarter of 2024, Virgin Galactic approved revenues of 1.9 million, up from 392,000 in the same period of 2023. So it's increasing year over year, but not as much as it needs to. However, the company also reported a net loss of 102 million, down from a net loss of 159 million. The company has a strong cash position with 195 million in cash and cash equivalents. Technical and safety updates. Following an issue during the Galactic 06 mission where an alignment pitch detached from the aircraft, the carrier aircraft, Virgin Galactic has implemented corrective actions approved by the FAA. These steps are designed to enhance the retention mechanism and prevent similar issues in future flights. Of course, then safety is the number one priority. If there is a crash, God forbid, this company would go to zero in a heartbeat. And of course, lives will be lost. Future developments. The Galactic 07 mission will be the final flight for VSS and Unity as the company shifts focus to developing the next generation Delta class vehicles, expected to enter commercial service in 2026. This move is part of Virgin Galactic's strategy to expand its fleet and increase flight frequency. I do have another question for GPT, which is let me put it in now. What financial metrics and trends should investors monitor to assess the bankruptcy risk for SPCE? Cash flow and liquidity. Operating cash flow. Monitor the net cash used in operating activities. Consistent negative cash flow from operations can indicate that the company is not generating enough revenue to cover its operating expenses. Cash reserves. Check the level of cash and cash equivalents. As the first quarter of 2024, Virgin Galactic has had 195 million in cash and cash equivalents, which is a crucial buffer against operational losses. Remember, 100 million of that can go towards settlement of the Boeing case if they lose. So, but they still will have cash. Burn rate, the rate at which the company is spending its cash reserve. A high burn rate relative to its cash reserve could indicate potential liquidity issues. Sorry, I have something in my throat. If you do appreciate the SPCE coverage and the news, please do hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. If this video does get 150 likes, I'll be donating $100 to charity. Revenue growth. Track quarterly and annual revenue growth. Although Virgin Galactic's revenue increased to 101.9 million in Q1 of 2024 from 922,000, it is essential to see sustained and significant revenue growth to cover its ongoing costs. Remember, this is key. Bankruptcy is on the cards, but it's at least a year out, in my opinion. But right now is the time where they need to make sure they're not operating with their operating expenses are lowering, because they need all the cash they can have, so they can get. So that's crucial. It's at the point where bankruptcy fears can start bringing fear onto retail investors in this stock. Customer deposits. Trends in customer deposits can indicate future revenue potential. A decrease in customer deposits might signal a warning customer interest or cancellations. I don't think this is an issue. I think they do have a lot of demand for going up to space and seeing Earth. So there's enough rich people that want to get on this flight. Operating expenses. Research and development R&D costs. High R&D expenditures are typical for aerospace compliance, but sustained high R&D spending without corresponding revenue increases can be a red flag. Virgin Galactic's R&D expenses were 58 million in Q1 of 2024, down from 109 billion. Profitability metrics. Net income. We have had a look at all of that. Equity dilutions. Share issuance. Frequent issuance of new shares to raise capital can dilute existing shareholders' value. Monitoring the number of shares outstanding and additional paid in capital can provide insights into equity dilution risks. Interesting. That is key. We don't want too much dilution going on. Regulatory and operational risk. Compliance with regulatory requirements and ongoing investigations or corrective actions such as those by the FAA can impact operations and financial stability. Operating milestones. Achieving key milestones such as successful flights and development of new space planes is crucial. Delays or failures can affect investor confidence and financial health. Remember, this is key. They need to have these goals and need to stick to these goals. If they don't have these goals, which is what they're teetering on, where they don't announce flights in they're not announcing enough flights, they're not announcing enough celebrities coming on the flights, they need, and they're not telling us enough about the Delta fleet. We want to see inside the factory, we want to see updates, and Virgin Galactic is sort of failing on the marketing aspect, and that is key. I do want to ask about the Boeing case. What are any updates or information on the court case? Let's see if ChatGPT has any access to that. It's searching the web currently. Lawsuit details. Boeing and its subsidiary Aurora Flight Sciences have filed a lawsuit against Virgin Galactic, alleging unpaid invoices totaling $26.4 million and misappropriation of trade secrets. The lawsuit claims that Virgin Galactic has not paid for work done on a new mothership aircraft intended to support Virgin's next generation suborbital space planes. Additionally, Boeing and Aurora accuse Virgin Galactic for retaining proprietary information, including technical specifications and modeling equations for aircraft performance that were inadvertently shared during the project. Virgin Galactic's response. In response, Virgin Galactic has filed a counterfeit suit against Boeing, accusing the company of performing shoddy and incomplete work. Virgin Galactic countersuit argues that Boeing failed to meet contractual deliverabilities and provide substandard work during its initial phases of the mothership product. Virgin also disputes the claims of misappropriating trade secrets, asserting that the information belongs to Virgin or is licensed for its use under their agreement. Impact on operations. Due to the ongoing legal dispute, Virgin Galactic has deprioritized the development of the new, this is bad if it is true, it has prioritized the development of the new mothership aircraft and is focusing on Delta class space planes expected to enter commercial service in 2026. Excuse me, that might not actually be that bad. That might be the safer thing for them to do. The company will continue using its existing VMS Eve aircraft for upcoming tests and commercial flights. Court proceedings. The case is being handled by the U.S. District Court for Eastern District of Virginia, with Virgin's countersuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. The outcomes of these legal battles could have significant financial impacts for both companies involved. What are some key dates for this? Let's see what we need to keep up with in regards to the court case. The initial finding was March 2024. Virgin Galactic countersuit was April the 4th, 2024. Court hearings and motions 26th of April 2024. A motion was hearing for was set for Boeing's request of an anti-suit injunction. May the 24th, another motion hearing was scheduled regarding Virgin Galactic's objections to evidence. Any upcoming dates? Let's see if there's anything in the future. And we'll wait for that to process. June the 7th, 2024, a motion hearing is scheduled in the US District Court of Eastern District of Virginia regarding Boeing's request for anti-suit injunction. And June the 21st, the date is significant for another hearing related to preliminary injunction. So we'll keep up to date to that, and we'll bring you any news about that coming up. But next, we've got the flight. The flight should be good for the price, or at least the lead up to the flight. Remember, we do sometimes have sell the news events on the flights, and we'll keep you up to date. We'll be live for the flight, so that will be exciting. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next, make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe. There'll be related videos if you want to see up here, and a playlist down here, and do leave your comments below. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.